Like very rarely need to do a sound check because I don't know, everyone sounds the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We all have the same inflections.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Turns out gender doesn't matter.
Different.
We're all in comedy voice. I'll notice that teaching.
Speaking of which, we're back. Hi, Johnny Mocny.
Hi.
You're
Joanna
here.
Madonna.
What were you gonna say? I rudely interrupted 2 seconds into the
I was
pod.
just saying, like, I'll be teaching, and like sometimes I get on a roll, and like my comedy voice will come out a little bit. Like, and I can't quite describe it, but it'll be like certain pronunciations or inflections, like
Yeah.
because I'm crushing already.
'Cause you're crushing.
like with the kids.
You're like timing it perfectly.
Yeah.
Everything's you're on rhythm. You know the whole thing.
That was
Yelling at them for heckling.
Right.
Yeah, no, I will. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be like, raise your hand if you're gonna heckle.
That should be the rule, right?
Yeah, no, that should always be the rule.
I feel like that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Like, if you have something to say,
yeah.
then ask.
It is such a ridiculous craft, stand-up comedy. Like we really
teacher
are up there.
destroys heckling.
Teacher,
I'm gonna like set up my camera and get clips from class.
13-year-old destroys 32-year-old.
Yeah.
You just look 32. He's like 25. It's crazy.
I'm 26 now.
26. So
Wow.
sorry.
But
Forgot
they,
to add the year.
Yeah, they do destroy me most of the time, so it'd be pretty bad.
It blows my mind that you're a teacher. Like,
Yeah?
yeah, a little bit.
I don't seem like it, or...
You seem like you would be a great teacher,
Oh, thank you.
but it like, I don't know.
What do you teach?
But I also had cool teachers.
I teach English.
Okay.
So I teach AP Lit and then a couple electives.
So that's comedy.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the most like not being a real teacher type of job you can have is being an English teacher, I think. Like, because at the end of the day, I'm kind of not really. I'm not like if it's math, you're teaching them formulas, you know.
Yeah.
But if it's English, you're just like I don't know. It's like, what do you think this means? That's kind of the whole class is what do you think this means? Prove it.
What do you think about Catcher in the Rye, everybody?
Yeah.
Are we depressed or did we like it?
I never read it.
I never read Catch in the Rye in school, and then I read it when I had to teach it. And I read it over the summer, and I bawled my eyes out. I thought it was
Yeah. Started cutting.
Yeah. I went in my Holden Caulfield phase at 23, which is a little bit late, but
It is a little bit late.
we got to go through that eventually.
I have a friend who named her son after Holden from Catcher in the Rye. And I'm like, wasn't he like a shitty dude and didn't he die?
No, he lives.
He lives? Okay,
He lives,
what
but-
didn't he suck?
He sucks a little bit.
Yeah, and I'm like that.
Yeah. Sad boy.
Yeah, he's a sad boy.
This Holden in real life does not suck.
Right.
Not yet.
He is 3, so there's plenty of
There's
room.
time.
There's time.
If Holden Caulfield was like real and lived today, he'd be like a huge Ryan Gosling fan. Like he would probably like buy the Drive jacket and be like, he's literally me.
I probably know him. I probably fucked that guy.
We have fucked that guy.
Yeah, probably at the same time.
Totally at the same time.
Yeah.
And then had no idea. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Holden. God, what a
I've
name.
seen a couple Holdens come through the open mics every now and then, you know? I think that's a regular character.
I think I know a few
Spot
of
him
them.
from a mile away. You do know one of them. That's for sure. Okay, well, happy Mother's Day to everybody.
Yeah,
Mother's Day.
cheers.
Johnny, are you a mother? Cheers.
I'm not a mother, but I love mothers.
You do.
Do you have a mother?
love mothers,
I do.
don't you?
What's she like?
My mom is, I don't even know how to start the elevator pitch on what my mom is like.
Or what's your favorite thing about your mom?
My favorite thing about my mom is she's genuinely like a deep thinker, and like I was just on the phone with her on the way here, and I think my mom's like consistently curious, and she's always changing with the times a little bit. Like my mom is genuinely much
she's
more than
hot.
my dad. Yeah. My mom's like really plugged in. My mom's listening to podcasts. She's gonna listen to this. She listens to everything, but then she's like. She'll like tell me about news that I haven't heard about.
Oh.
you know?
That's cool.
Yeah.
I wish I was more like that.
Yeah. She's like, did you hear Elon cut this program today? I'm like, no, thanks for
She's
letting
just
me
like
know."
feeding you material.
Yeah,
You're right.
like propaganda.
Your
She
mom
does
is
like
the
to do that.
news.
My mom
Yeah.
does like to give me ideas for bits, and I don't think I've ever used one, but I really appreciate her trying.
I think I learned this about your mom just in like normal passing conversation with you, like you and Lou. Like
Yeah.
she's very supportive of your stand up and like
She
listens
is.
to a lot of the stuff. And does she come to a lot of your shows? Where does she live?
She and my dad live in Columbus now.
Oh, okay.
But they haven't been there.
Yeah, I always thought you were like an
super
orphan
long.
child because I never
Yeah.
like
well,
hear or see.
yeah. I mean, they used to come to like every open mic when I was first starting.
That's so cute.
Because when I started, I was still living with them. I was at LCC, and they would come to like Max on Mondays. And then I think I
Amazing.
remember the day they decided they weren't going to do that anymore.
Remember the joke?
What'd you
I remember
say?
the
What'd you
exact
say?
joke. It was a joke about having sex with Jesus Christ. It was like
Hell yeah, brother.
and it didn't really do well. I think that was the thing.
They're like, oh, he's embarrassing. I can't be here.
Yeah, I think they told, and I really didn't want them to be coming, to the open mics because I was like, I'm trying the stuff. It's not. It's not parent approved yet, so they'll still come out. I don't know if they have the opportunity, they'll come out to do stuff, and then also like if I'm doing comedy in Columbus now, they'll come see
Fun.
me. So it's like a nice occasion. But my mom will listen to every Michigan podcast. Like she's a big fan of she'll listen to every episode of like Carl Johnson's podcast, and
That is adorable.
and my favorite thing she'll do is she'll send me like a timestamp if they mention me on any, like she'll be like, they mentioned you on this episode of the P Boys at 25:32, and like send me the timestamp. And so I'm like, cool, thanks.
This is the energy that I wish Ross had
Yeah.
for my career.
Well, Ross isn't a housewife, he's got
Sometimes
could-
he is.
he could
He's
be.
up there
he's got the potential.
chopping vegetables right now. Yeah.
Yeah,
I feel like
hear him.
every episode, because it's always on a Sunday. Like last episode, it was
like,
like
oh,
he's
Ross is
outside
doing
raking
this.
the leaves. He's
Yeah.
outside, blah blah blah.
He pops in wearing like an apron, like
Yeah.
very, like Leave It to Beaver mom style.
Honey, do you need
It's got
anything?
ruffles. Do you need anything? Hi, Johanna's friends. I'm the cool mom.
Holding a tray.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, that's cool. Yeah. No, yeah, my mom's very, she's always been, like, my mom loves to, like, do things for people. I feel like that she's been in this sort of existential crisis for the past year because they're finally empty nesters. 'Cause my brother started college last year, so she's kind of been finally, like, finding what she just likes to do
Yeah.
for herself. But like every opportunity she has to like snap into mom mode, she'll still do it. Like Louis stayed with my parents recently because he was doing shows in Ohio.
Yeah.
And my mom was so excited. She
Of
was like,
course.
I made up the bets for him. And she was texting me like, do you think he'd be okay if we took him to this place for dinner? I'm like, yeah, it's like, of course. Like,
Yeah.
everybody wants to have a mom on the road. Most
Yeah.
people don't.
100%.
Yeah.
Or a mom in general. If you're a
Yeah.
comic, shit.
Or me.
Or you.
Right.
Bree's mom is dead.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's
I'm sorry.
the running joke of the podcast.
I didn't know what to expect. I thought you were going to tell me your mom was dead, and then I remembered that she's actually very opposite of that. Very alive.
She's
She's very-
very
living,
alive and
breathing.
very
My
supportive.
dad, jury's still out, but
Yeah. So are they still together?
yeah, they're still together.
Oh, wow. A dying breed.
Yeah, there was a time when I was a kid. I remember they got in a huge fight because we were living in Mississippi, and my mom was opening a Thai restaurant there, which was a huge deal in Mississippi. They did not have in that town. They didn't have those.
A single spice.
Some people didn't know what Thailand was.
Had no idea.
And so it was a big deal. But I remember my parents getting in an argument about it, and my mom. It's the most angry I've ever seen her get. She like threw some silverware at the ground and screamed, and she like stormed out. And I went upstairs with my brother, and then I came back downstairs, and I was looking for my dad, and he's fully in his clothes, having a drink, sitting in the bathtub.
Oh,
Not
hell yeah.
like,
been there.
Not like full of water. He's just laying
Yeah.
in a
Was
dry
the shower
bathtub.
on?
No.
Oh, that'd
And
be
he was
great.
just like, John, if she leaves me, she leaves me. It was like really like, and that was the only time in my life I thought my parents might get a divorce. And they've gone through phases where they've lived apart. There was a period of time when I was in college where my dad was in Pennsylvania and my mom was in Michigan with my brother and sister. And, I was like, it would tease it, but then I don't know, as time goes on, I see the love that I didn't see when I was a kid.
Sure. Of course.
And also as I get to know them both, I'm like, they would not survive.
Yeah.
There's no
Yeah.
way. I can't picture either of them getting to know a new person.
Right.
Or themselves.
Or themselves.
Yeah.
Scary.
I don't know
Scary
what
word.
questions my dad would ask another woman, and more than that, I don't know how he would answer a woman's questions about himself.
Fair. Yeah.
So I think it's too late for them. I think they're locked in for good, probably.
Love that.
At this point.
I've almost broken up with people over Thai food too, so I get
Really?
it. That's such a, when you are explaining it, I'm the way that I'm envisioning it in my mind, it's like very movie moment.
No, yeah, it was.
Throwing
it was
the
very,
silverware,
lifetime.
dad in the tub,
Yeah.
having a drink. What was he drinking? Do you remember?
Oh, it was probably a highball of some kind.
Okay.
You know?
Fancy.
Yeah.
Far fancy.
Probably a Southern Comfort with a Coke would be that's my assumption.
So what is your dad like?
Dad's very just straight arrow. He was an Eagle Scout.
Okay.
You know, he's the white side of the family.
Sure.
So like Polish Catholic, you know, just I don't know. I mean, my dad's a very sweet man, and I think over time my dad's gotten, because when I was younger, I'm the oldest of three, and
Okay.
when I was really young, my dad was like kind of a hard ass, and I think he was like, just because he was raised in the 70s, so he had a 70s dad. And
Okay.
70s dads are like the scariest guys that
Of
ever
course.
existed. They all had like mustaches.
I was
and
going
they
to
were
say,
like,
did he have a mustache?
yeah, yeah. My grandpa still has a mustache.
Amazing.
And my dad had one too when
Yeah.
he was LARPing as my grandpa for a bit.
Yeah.
And so I remember one time I was like probably 5 or 6, and my dad went to work, and it was like a Saturday, and he was like, "Don't lay on your ass all day. Go play outside." So I was on my ass. I was watching like SpongeBob all day or something. And then when I saw my dad was getting home, I ran outside, and we had this little net where you could like throw a baseball at it and it would bounce back.
Yeah.
So I set up the net and I started doing that. And my dad gets home and he walks in the backyard and he's like, "You been out here all day?" And I was like, "Oh yeah." Yeah, baseball with myself, Dad. And my dad walks up to me. He like sniffs me to see if I'm sweating, and he just goes, "Bullshit." And he walks away. And I was so scared, my dad. And then I remember when we moved for the first time from DeWitt, Michigan to Texas, my dad was like literally tugging on my feet, and I was holding onto the door. I was like completely sideways, and just like, no, he gave me 30 seconds of being like, "Hey bud, you know, we should go." And then once that patience ran out, he was like, "We gotta go."
Yeah.
And so I think about that because when I was in college and my family moved to Pennsylvania, I remember being on the phone with my dad, and this is like so many years later, and my dad was like, "You know, John, your brother and your sister don't really like it here that much. I feel like maybe we should move back." And I was like, "You pussy." I was like, "What happened to the guy who was tugging on my feet?" Like,
Yeah.
So I think he kind of came into his own over the years, and he
For
kind of
sure.
softened up, you know.
So
Yeah.
I've heard you mention like 4 different states you've lived in
I
in the
know.
past
Yeah.
5 minutes, and you're 26.
Yeah.
So how did that happen?
My dad, I was on my dad's job. He was an engineer. He worked for GM for like 22 years.
Yeah.
And then the year 2008 happened. And then he just
Sure.
kind of started bouncing around. So it was DeWitt, Michigan, Keller, Texas, Naperville, Illinois, then Corinth, Mississippi. No, wait, did I skip? No, yeah, then it was Corinth, Mississippi. Then we went to Thailand, and there's actually there's a House Hunters International episode about us on
Really?
HGTV. Yeah.
What?
We're on House Hunters.
Wow, we about to blow up.
For
And then-
real?
yeah.
House
Shit. Didn't know
hunter.
you had credits, Johnny.
Yeah,
Okay.
Oh shit! I never even thought of it as TV credits. I could
Yeah,
use
put
that.
that on your
Literally-
Oh, I
IMDb,
have-
dog.
List
Open
that.
for Matt McCusker, been on HGTV. That's my bio.
As seen on HGTV.
Yes. Why not?
And no, don't look. I had like no drip. I was insane because we're in Thailand, and I wanted to look good on TV, so I'm wearing like full jeans and like a button down,
Oh God.
like an open button down. I thought I looked cool
With
but
a
I'm-
shirt under it?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
I
totally.
thought it was just.
No, but I'm sweating my balls off.
How old were you?
I would have been. Gosh, that was 20. I would have been like 12 or 13. I think,
Okay,
at
so
the
that's
time.
when you're dripping the hardest.
Yeah,
You're
when
dripping the
supposed to.
Yeah.
hardest. Yeah.
No, I really missed my hard drip era. And
God. A button up though, I feel like in our era 12 13-year-old boys were like dressing like Slim Shady,
yeah, no, probably.
Fred Durst.
Yeah, my idea of like a cool guy was like, yeah, no, I feel every cool guy I knew wore an open button down,
Like me.
like a shacket, you know?
Slicked back the hair.
Yeah. I was huge into my hair. My hair was a huge deal. I had to I always parted it perfectly, and I don't know. At some point, I gave up on that because I felt like it wasn't working. Like I felt
You
like,
have a great head of hair.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah,
Be proud of that.
Proud of it.
Yeah.
And I'm going gray a little bit too. I have,
Dude.
some
Silver
salt and pepper.
You got it
Yeah.
going on, I'm telling you.
Yeah, I really did skip my youth. I kind of went. I skipped with the
From
But how
14 to
fun.
40.
Yeah, I had no Slim Shady era. Now I'm everything about me is like dad with like gray hair and like my body shape and stuff. So it's fine, you know.
Chicks dig it, bro.
Yeah.
I know, yeah. I found out.
You can totally get away with being like, yeah, I'm 33, 35.
You should just start lying about your age.
Yeah.
And start banging cougars, dude.
But
You can still
also,
bang cougars.
Oh,
if you're
are you
25.
banging cougars?
Well, I don't know. Like,
Yeah,
okay,
I don't
you know.
kiss them. Yeah.
there's this
My
whole...
mom is listening to the episode.
True.
Oh, yeah,
It is. We'll get back
Mom,
to you.
don't ask your friends.
Yeah,
Sorry, what were you saying?
Champagne Poppy over here.
for real. What was I going to ask you? Shit. I left my brain for a second. I wasn't going to ask you, I was going to tell you. There is this new, like, you know, newfound kink that everyone's, like, talking about on the internet is older women dating younger boys who are, like, immature in a way that they're fun, but have enough patience for how, like, wild and like unstable we are as 30-something-year-old women.
Right.
I'm speaking for myself. I don't
was
want to
like,
assume
huh?
everyone in the room. You're perfect. We
So
know.
when you say older women dating younger guys, you're talking about like women in their mid-30s dating like 25-year-old guys.
Yeah, like younger. I'd say like 25, 24, probably no younger than that.
Yeah.
And then
yeah,
they're like,
I have done it, actually.
yeah. And then they're, see? And then they're
With the
like
wife.
35 to 40-year-old women.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So you're like in the market right now. Because
I
you do
guess
seem
so.
like a very patient guy.
I think I am. No, that's one thing. If you asked my ex-girlfriend for like quotes, I think that's like the one thing she'd be most positive on. Is she did call me patient a lot, which like I was, but like also, I mean, I do have like internal frustration, but I just don't. I don't know.
Yeah, where?
I calm down. I don't know. I'm never in a rush. I think
Yeah.
that's-
Time
That's
isn't
it.
real.
Maybe you
Yeah.
see you okay, so you seem like the type of person who like you don't want to upset though.
No.
Like if you do get angry, it's probably a little scary.
I don't know if it is scary. Maybe it's
Maybe
only,
shocking.
I think it's only shocking because I very rarely do.
Sure.
And so it's like with my kids, I'll occasionally if I have to like get tough and I have to be like, okay, like
Yeah.
and, like lock in and like I think that's scary to people just because it's out of character for me.
Sure.
But I don't think me angry is any more scary than, you know, the average person. you know?
Okay.
I think it's just by juxtaposition. It's
I
scary.
forgot you were a
Gauge.
teacher, and I was like, this man's a father of 5. Young
When I
man,
have
father
to
of
get
5.
tough
with
with
the
the
No
kids.
wonder
kids.
your hair is gray.
Yeah,
they
no
gave it to
shit.
me.
Oh my god, amazing. So how did your parents meet?
They were both working for GM at the time, and it was sort of like a Jim and Pam thing. So like
Amazing.
my mom was the receptionist, and my dad was did something for. I never figured out what my dad did for a living. I still don't really know, but he was working for GM. He was in the offices, and he would like. I guess his flirting tactic is he would like ask her to like fill out like paperwork for him.
Oh.
Like that was
Hasn't
his,
worked in a couple decades, bud.
no, he got her at the right time. It was like
Absolutely.
That's why he
early
can't date.
'90s.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's why he's done. Yeah.
yeah. No, he can't break that out now.
Somebody
Right.
whips out Chat GPT, like,
Yeah.
I can imagine if my dad started dating again, I'd have to like explain like what Frank Ocean is to him. I'd have to be like catch him. It'd be like Captain America coming out of the ice, and you have to like catch him up on everything he's missed.
Oh
you know?
god. Frank Ocean. He'd get back in the tub. This shit is sad and gay.
Yeah. it would.
So they met at work, Jim and Pam.
Yeah.
Did it take a while for them to like actually date? Were they
like,
friends?
they started dating. They got engaged 3 months after their first date.
wow.
So it was
Holy
very
shit.
quick. Yeah. And
Good for you, Mama Bear.
yeah, I come from a long line of like, because like that
Very
happened,
attractive, tight pussies.
Very attractive. Yeah. But because like my grandparents on my dad's side, they also like my grandpa got married when he was like 17. So the whole family is like very like, you know, they're very quick to like
Sure.
lock somebody down. So that's like my last relationship was 3 years.
Oh,
and
damn.
So my grandpa from like after a couple weeks was like, so when are you gonna, like, when are you putting a ring on it? I was like, it's not the same anymore. Like,
it is not the same anymore.
No, people date forever without getting married these days. So
There's something called the internet.
yeah, there's something called the economy.
The economy.
It also
the whole
takes
thing.
like a couple years to unpack the emotional trauma, generational trauma.
Stuff shows up later.
Yeah,
that
you
had
gotta
no idea
after
about.
you get through the 4th year. That's
That's when you really know.
yeah, as somebody who really knows.
Yeah. Someone
If you
who's
get over that
living and
4th year
breathing
hump.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all it takes nowadays.
Yeah. But they were together a while, and then they didn't have me until 7 years in because they couldn't conceive a baby. And
Oh, shit.
I'm a test tube baby. That's how they had.
That's why you're so perfect.
That is why you're
I was
perfect.
chemically engineered to be
Yes.
a perfect man.
You're the first AI.
Yeah.
Do you have a belly
Exciting.
button?
I do.
That's cool.
Thank
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
I don't.
Prove it.
You don't have a belly button?
No.
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 What?
Yeah, it's really crazy. It's a birth defect. Yeah.
Wait.
So
are
maybe
you
you're the
fucking
first
with me?
AI.
No, yeah, I'm fucking with you 100%.
Oh,
I have
okay.
a very deep and wide belly button.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot going on in there.
Okay, tell me if this is funny, because
Yeah.
I have an innie, but I have like an innie, like it's deep as fuck, right?
Yeah.
So I want to somehow make this a joke about how it's called an innie twice, because if you scream into it, it echoes back. Stupid, right? So stupid.
Yeah.
It's so dumb. But there's something
It's silly,
there.
though.
It's silly
It's
as fuck.
How deep is it?
silly.
Because mine goes like past my first knuckle, dude.
Mine would go
Really?
probably to your second knuckle.
Let's figure it out later.
Dude, I will fucking show you. I'm not
right,
even
cool.
joking.
I've never explored my belly button.
No?
I
What?
know I have
There's
to clean
stuff
it.
in there.
I know I clean it, but I'm very careful because I do. It's like I have like a fear about like something going in my belly button. I'm like,
We all have fears, brother.
yeah,
I
it's
get
like
it.
that's my most irrational. Like I don't let anybody poke it. Like it freaks me out.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know why.
Interesting.
I'm not afraid of like terrorism or anything, but I'm afraid of.
It's the test
Getting
tube
a-
thing.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
I did because I was born without an asshole, right? Like
You're
Jacob
being for
Farrell.
real.
I'm being for real.
Okay.
And they had to, when you're born, they just have to.
Sure.
They just sent me to another hospital, and then I got it. And I think I chalk it up to it being a test tube baby thing because with regular conception, it's like survival of the fittest, and the strongest sperm gets there first.
Sure.
Yeah.
But like in this case, it was like they just went and they just mushed us together, and I think I just got lucky,
Clearly.
So I think that maybe if it had been regular conception, the ones with the assholes would have gotten there.
Yeah, the sperm without the asshole.
Of
wow.
course.
Yeah. Everyone was like, "This guy? Like,
This fucking guy?
you picked him?"
Okay, how does test tube baby work? Do we know?
So they take your mom's eggs
Yeah.
out, and they mix your dad's sperm with your eggs, the
Okay.
eggs, and then they just put them back in your
In a
mouth.
little
Yeah.
dish.
Petri dish.
And then
Yeah.
It's how the lesbians have babies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
never really thought about it thoroughly. You know,
Yeah.
I was just like, okay, what
Neither
is
have
the
I,
actual
really.
science?
See, the only part I think about is the fact that my dad had to like jack off in a waiting room. I think that's the only.
Cold
I
white
would have
walls.
wanted to do it at home. I would have
Yeah.
kept it warm, put it in a rice cooker.
Sure.
Yeah.
Hand warmers,
Put it in like
whatever
a
you gotta
DoorDash
do.
bag.
Yeah.
Like,
Just picturing a fucking Indian guy riding a bike with the DoorDash fucking bag in the
Just
back,
full of cum.
full of cum,
I mean, there's probably one out there.
ringing a bell. Ring, ring.
Yeah.
He's on his way.
If it takes
He's
more
on
than
his way
30
right
minutes,
now.
the cum is free.
Yeah, exactly.
Could you come on command in a waiting room? Could you figure it out?
I'd make it work.
You'd make it work? I would.
Yeah.
Johnny's
I'd-
full of
I'd-
talents.
I would come so hard.
Yeah. I mean, I'd have to reorient my environment a little bit. I'd have to like dim the lights.
Dim
you
the
know?
lights for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah,
the
put on
lights are
some
a
Frank
huge
Ocean.
thing.
Yeah. The
lights are-
Think of your father.
There you go. That always gets me going. That's for sure.
It's a family tradition. I'd be like, yeah,
Yeah.
I was doing this like my father before me.
Family tradition. So speaking of that, what kind of white is your dad?
Polish.
Polish.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
like,
Mocny's a
oh,
Polish
he
man.
was an engineer, so he's an intelligent fella.
Yeah. He's
Okay.
a very.
You mentioned
My
mustaches.
dad's very analytically intelligent. He's very
Okay.
responsible.
Love it. So just like a normal white dude.
Yes, I do
Okay.
need to lecture him sometimes on like how to talk to people because he like
Fair.
doesn't. I think he doesn't control his like the way he comes across sometimes. So sometimes he seems really rude, but it's just because like he doesn't know how to like,
Yeah.
you know, sprinkle some like.
So he's autistic.
Possibly.
He's got a little Louis D. Michael in him.
Yeah,
I love that.
He doesn't know how to quite lubricate his thoughts in a way that's like digestible to the world. So I'm like, we've had talks where now I'm teaching him sometimes, and I'm just kind of telling him about how to talk. Like we'll be at the gym, and like we used to go to the gym together, and he would like be, you know, ask a guy like, oh, can we use this machine next? And then there'd be like, I don't know, it'd be like the way he talked to him. Like I remember talking to a guy going like, no, he said that we could use it next. And my dad sounded really flustered. And I'm like, dude, that guy would have punched you.
Right.
Like you got to be like more chill, because it was a very normal situation. But I think he's gotten better. I think especially now that he lives alone and it's just his wife in that town. So he has to make friends.
He's got to make friends.
Yeah.
So your mom is Thai?
Yeah.
And is she from Thailand?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she was born and raised in Thailand. She was there till she was 8. And
Okay.
then, moved to Detroit. Didn't speak any English, I don't think.
So your grandparents are foreign,
yeah.
like they came here
Yeah,
American Dream style? Like what are we looking at?
Her mom and her brother.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
And then her mom had married Ron Tormala, who was a Korean War vet who had moved to Thailand. So it was sort of like a Miss Saigon
Crazy
thing,
Yeah.
except
Yeah.
with a happy ending. So like he married.
Well, you guys are Asian. There's always a happy ending.
Right. He married my Yai, who's my grandma, and then adopted my mom and her brother, and then took him here. So
Okay.
yeah,
Amazing. What
Yeah.
a story.
but yeah, it is kind of a.
Does she have an accent or no?
My mom?
Yeah.
Not at all.
Okay,
No.
'cause
In
she was
fact,
8.
Now when my mom speaks Thai, which she still can, like I guess she sounds very American. So that like
So
she's
she's
speaking.
me.
She's speaking like
Moved
broken
here
Thai.
when you were 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same. My Spanish is terrible.
Are
And then
you his mother?
Maybe.
Are you Peruvian as well?
Was Spanish once your first language?
I was born in Peru.
Wow.
Yeah, I was born in Peru. Moved to California when I was 2. Wait, this is mine. This is yours.
Yeah, I want to drink it.
Hammered. It's not even 1 p.m. I was born in Peru, moved to California when I was 2, and
Yeah.
then Michigan when I was 4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. My aunt, who was the first of our family to move to the United States, fell in love with a white guy from Waterford, Michigan.
Classic.
And he literally like saved our lives.
Uncle
And
Jim.
My Uncle Jim, very complicated human, but at the end of the day, at his core, very kind.
Yeah.
Has always been like a liberal Democrat, like on the right side of things
History. Yeah.
of history. As a war vet and like a guy who grew up poor with no shoes in
Yeah.
the hills of fucking West Virginia, like,
Yeah.
but somehow always found a way to like, no, this is what's right, you know.
Right.
So yeah, fell in love with a Latina as one does, and he's like, I'm not going back to Michigan without you, and she was like, well, we're bringing the immigrants.
That's
and
beautiful.
it was me and my mom, my Chilean aunt, which I say aunt loosely, like my not blood relatives, but people I've known since I was a baby. My Chilean aunt, her Polish husband, their son, my Brazilian Peruvian aunt, and her daughter, and we
Wow.
all lived in his basement
Wow.
for like 2 years.
Okay, so this started off as like a movie where the climax is him asking them to move with him, and then the ending of it is a sitcom.
Correct.
Of everybody
Yeah,
living
correct.
in this house.
Yeah, yeah.
In that basement. That's
Everyone
incredible.
loves Ramon is what
Yeah.
we're gonna call
You
it.
should do a documentary.
I have so many ideas, and I think that when I become a real adult at the age of 48, I'll probably start writing some real
Yeah.
stuff down. But
Start cooking it up now, like in your head.
oh
Let it
god,
percolate.
there's stuff I can't tell you on camera about my
Sure.
family, which
Sure.
we're about to have family dinner. We're gonna get hammered. I'll tell you all about it. But yeah, it's my story is very nuts, and I always said that I would write a book, and the title is going to be "Now That Everyone's Dead,"
Oh,
because there's
yeah.
information that I can't put out there to the world without people getting
Well, there's people still alive.
in jail and
Yeah.
stuff. So,
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
You mentioned the politics. So it's all pretty liberal family. Is that? Yeah.
100%.
My parents are like, they're interesting in that way because my dad was like Republican voter for so long.
Sure.
Because that's what his dad was. And 2016 kind of changed him. And, you know, because like my dad is also like a very mannered, like gentleman type guy.
Yeah.
So like he just can't bring himself to like mesh with Trump. It's just
Yeah.
like, and at the end of the day, it did turn into like, oh, he's such an asshole. So I think that was his first time voting Democrat. And then my mom was like, always would vote with my dad, but then she would have these weird moments where she would like vote for like Ross Perot or something, where,
Okay.
and kind of get out there. And then 2016 they both switched over, and now what's funny is like my mom is like, she got really into the Andrew Yang campaign in 2020 because he's Asian.
Yeah.
And,
Sure.
And then by proxy, like my dad did too, and so they were like volunteering at like rallies and stuff like that for Yang. And
That's adorable.
Yeah, I'm still in a group chat that my mom put me in with old Yang supporters, still talking.
Is it
about
still popping
politics.
off?
It is. It's not really about him anymore, but it's about it's about current events. And but then so now my mom's like a Bernie bro. And my dad is like, it's really funny. My dad's like a late onset Democrat.
Sure.
So he's like kind of late. Like my dad will send me jokes, or he'll be like, oh, did you realize like Trump's orange? Like he doesn't like he's like a bit behind on stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, he's catching up. It's fine.
That's adorable.
He's just now doing Trump is orange jokes, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone's got to keep it alive, It's
Yeah.
like tradition. It's got to come back every
there's
few
always
years.
I love meeting people that are like into politics but don't know the internet or don't have like capacity for irony.
Yeah.
Because it's always stuff like that. It's like,
Every single time.
they always think they're the first guy to call him like Cheeto in chief.
Right.
They're so proud.
Yeah, my aunt and uncle, who I was talking about in the story, they live on a lake
Okay.
in like a very Republican area, and they're the only people on the lake that had like Kamala or like
And they put up
they put up their shit,
the
and it's
merch?
like, and they live on a little peninsula. We call it an island, but
Yeah.
and every single lake mansion house has like Trump flags and Trump signs,
Sure.
and they're the very first house on the left, and it's always like
Does that create tension with the
Anti.
neighbors, or is everyone cool?
everyone's cool.
That's
I mean,
good.
they're all drunks.
Right.
Yeah.
So, when you're a drunk, who cares
When you're a
about
drunk,
politics?
politics is just like rooting for football teams.
Yeah, exactly. We're all just yelling into the abyss,
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's just reminded me of that. Is
Sure.
how funny that dynamic has always been on their little island. Were you going to say something?
I don't remember. I don't think I was. If you don't remember, it never happened.
So, you don't really have, like, we're searching for mommy issues. But maybe
Oh,
your
they're
issues
there.
come from
They're there for sure.
moving a lot.
Yeah, well, moving a lot. So moving a lot made me closer to my family, I think, than anybody else.
Interesting. The other way around.
Yeah.
It's usually a teenager being like, fuck you guys.
I was never like that. My sister was a bit. My brother more so, I think. But I was like, I think it made us all closer. Maybe more me and my siblings.
Sure.
But I think my parents and I have a really good relationship where, like, I think my dad more so gets very vulnerable with me on the phone. Like,
That's
he'll.
Really?
He used to, when it was just after I had moved out, he would call me about him raising my brother and my sister and talking about what he thinks he's doing right or wrong. And like asking for advice because I'd been through it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I kind of got multiple versions of my dad. Like, my dad quit spanking his kids after he had spanked me plenty of times.
Right. Right.
And then came around and like spanking's bad.
Totally.
And I was like, I had to be the test.
So
dummy.
did you spank
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
siblings?
Right. Yeah. I was like, somebody's got to,
This is for dad.
this is reparations.
That's right.
But yeah, no, I think I have a good relationship with both of my parents. I think that I do have, I mean, it is like, I don't know how to describe it. I've had to talk to my mom before about like, she'll come to my apartment sometimes, and like when she's in town, she stays at my place. And last time she came over, I was like, listen, don't go in my room. Don't reorganize things. Don't look through things and clean them up. I'm like, you can you like sleep in your room and you can use the living space. And I just kind of have to like, she appreciated that I was honest with her about that I
Sure.
like put my foot down, because I was like, if I just let her roam free, this is gonna become a list of all the things I need to do in my apartment. And
Honey, the sex swing is crooked.
the remodeling. There was, oh my gosh, the most mad I've ever gotten my mom. Not the most, but when I was living with my ex, she had just moved in, and my mom for years had been telling me about how she thinks I should like switch the TV and the couch to
Okay.
opposite sides.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I like it like this. It's fine.
Yeah.
Whatever. And then after my ex moved in, I was at work. I came home from work, and it was all changed. And I was like, did my mom come over today? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, and she just told you that she wanted to do this and you went with it? And she was like, yeah. And I like called my mom and I was pissed. I was like, you waited till I was gone.
Yeah.
And then used my girlfriend who had no idea this,
Sure.
and then what really pissed me off is it did look much better.
Of course.
It's actually.
Of course it did.
She had very good instincts
Yeah.
about it, so I couldn't be that mad.
You just didn't want to do it because she suggested it.
I think that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted that independence.
You're like, no, I'm a fucking adult. I live on my own. I know where the fuck the TV should go.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
God, infuriating when they're right.
I know.
Yeah. My mom will sometimes also she does this thing, and my sister and I have lectured her about this. She'll be very quick to judgment. Like she'll meet somebody once and be like, oh, they're really like this, huh? Like she'll make some kind of rash, like extreme judgment. She'll be very confident about it.
Yeah.
And we'll all be like, no. And we argue. And it's taken me time where, like, at first I used to think my mom was, like, a really bad judge of character, and that was it. But I think she kind of wants us to argue with her.
Okay.
I think I've come to that. I think she likes to make really bold statements to get us to, like, fight back. It's like a Bill Burr set or something. Like,
I
it's
love
like,
that.
something like that. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. That's as deep as the mommy issues go, I think. I don't know.
Rearranging
Unless something's
furniture
suppressed.
must be nice. Wow.
Sure.
We had no furniture, and Mommy had a drinking problem.
Oh, my mom does have a drinking problem. Like
That's
yeah.
whose mom doesn't.
Whose mom
I was going to
doesn't?
say, she does sound so much like me. I'd be rearranging furniture behind people's back all
Yeah,
the time.
yeah. I think you and my mom would really.
Can't wait
mesh
to meet
pretty
her.
well.
Bring her
She's
over.
great. Yeah.
Columbus is what, 3 hours and 15 minutes
Yeah.
away, right?
It's it's not that
Something like
far.
that, yeah.
I only know that because I have to go there in a couple weeks.
Somewhere between 3 and 4.
Maybe I'll go to your mom.
Yeah, stop by my mom's.
I'll stop by your mom's house.
Yeah,
Does she make banging food?
yeah. Of
course
my
she
mom's
does.
a Thai chef. Yeah, she's.
That's so great.
Is she still?
Yeah, she still does. She loves to, and the thing is, it's so hard to learn from her because she's so improvisational. She's very instinctual
Sure.
when she cooks.
Listen to the
Same with my
ancestors.
mom, too.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
do you cook with her? Do you know how to cook any of that stuff?
No.
Yeah, I'm
I've
similar.
tried.
I'm similar in that way too.
I used to have this theory that my mom didn't want me to learn because she was afraid if I learned, I'd stop visiting home. And I don't know if that's true, but it's like in the back of my head sometimes where I'm like, it's like a reason to visit her. Because I've tried to cook myself, and it's never like mom does it. So,
Sure.
but if mom, if you're listening, I do love you, and I would visit you even if you were bad at cooking.
But it's more fun to manipulate him to come home.
I
Yes.
understand why it's very fun.
Manipulate us.
Manipulate
please.
us, please.
We have a podcast.
A lot of people want to be manipulated
Yeah.
with your food. No, that restaurant was a hit. I remember I have like such good memories of it. I'd take the bus from school to the restaurant, and I would like make my mom would make me like a whole basket of crab rangoons and like a Thai iced tea, and then I would try to flirt with this waitress who was like 5 years older than me, and then it wouldn't work, and then I'd go upstairs and I'd eat and I'd watch Walker Texas Ranger until they closed up the restaurant. That was like some of the best memories of my life.
Not much
I
has
think.
changed.
Literally, that's me.
It's you.
Everything about who I was when I just described still is who I am.
We are all the same.
Yeah.
We are all the
I
same.
did not learn anything.
That's amazing. So, okay, does she you said she has broken English when she tries to speak Thai, right?
Yeah, that's what she says.
Or an English accent,
I don't really know Thai well enough to tell myself, but that's what she says.
That's where I was kind of going with it. So
Yeah.
you never learned the language.
I tried. I spoke like a passing amount when I lived in Thailand. I took classes and tried to learn, but once we left, it kind of just like wiped from my brain.
It does definitely leave.
I
But then
remember
as soon
some
as you go
vulgar
back,
stuff. That's all I remember. Like, I remember how to tell people you have a big dick in Thai.
hell yeah,
You know?
that's all that matters.
Yeah, stuff
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. But
How do I say that? Just
it's wait, hang on. Actually, it's it should be. I think it's Mun Kway Yai.
Mungkwei.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna
That's-
remember that.
My penis is big. Is
Ah,
what it
okay,
means.
cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Use that.
I'm gonna.
You have
Yeah.
a big penis.
If I did, I would.
Yeah.
I think I would
If
have
you
a.
did, you would tell everybody.
If I.
Oh,
yeah.
if you had a penis, it would be huge.
Yeah, if I had a penis, it would be
Yeah,
huge.
yeah.
For sure. Mungkwei. Okay, I got that.
Nailed it.
Nailed it.
Absolutely.
Mungkwei.
Do you go back to Thailand frequently?
I've only been back once. I visited when I was in high school once, because it's an expensive trip. You know?
Sure.
But I love it.
Dying
It's
to
cool.
go.
I do have, I mean, I have so many great memories of living there, but I also, like, I don't know, a lot of my friends aren't there anymore because I went to this international school. So I had friends from, like, Australia and, like, Europe and stuff like that. And a lot of them have fanned out to, like, their own home countries now.
Sure.
So I like to see them, and we'll try to find ways to visit each other through that. But I'm like, going back to Thailand without my friends there would feel sad now, you know? Like, I'm not visiting
Yeah.
everybody. I'd still go. I mean, it's still a great place, but, like, you know, I don't know. It'd have that empty. I'd want to go back with the boys. I'd want to, like, get the crew together, you know?
Yeah.
And visit again.
That makes sense.
Do you
It's
have any
always-
family there?
Yeah.
So sorry.
No problem.
That's our producer. His name's Ludacris.
Hey, Ludacris. We have, my mom has a family there. So first of all, my mom's mom still lives there.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
lives
cool.
there. And then my mom has this extended family of half brothers and sisters because her dad, her birth father, had a secret family.
Oh, as one does.
Classic.
Yeah, so he had another wife with, like, a bunch of children, and then later when my mom became an adult, she got to know them, and they're super chill.
Oh, cool.
And her half brother got rich off of selling scrap metal, so they had, like, this really nice house with a guest house, and they would throw all these huge parties, and they would
Okay.
hire like entertainment, like singers and dancers to come,
Yeah.
and we would have all these parties at their house. They barely spoke any English. In fact, I don't think, we never really talked in English, but they would, like, they loved us, and they would talk through my mom to me or something, or sometimes
yeah.
they'd, like, look at me and they'd laugh, and I'd be like, Mom, what are they laughing about? My mom would be like, oh, it's fine, they're just laughing at your expense. And I'm like, that's exactly the thing.
Yeah. I want to know.
No,
Thank
they're
you.
really cool. And then I remember the other woman was there sometimes, and she was, like, just old and sitting on the swing, like, smoking opium. Like,
Hell yeah.
so chill. And then one time I remember Yai came and, like, stayed there with us, and it was like seeing her and the other woman, I was like, oh, is there tension? But like, at this point they're, like, so old, nobody gives a shit
No one
anymore.
gives a shit.
You
Yeah.
know, it's like nobody cares that
Yeah.
there was, because he's long dead at this point, so
Sure.
they were just like, nah, it's water under
Fuck
the
it.
bridge.
Yeah. So sorry about him.
No,
He's
no
very
problem.
gay.
He's very friendly.
Yeah. He likes your testosterone and everything
Yeah, a
about you
little
and your
too
beard.
friendly sometimes.
Yeah.
He's the Jamie of the pod.
He is. Yeah.
Hey,
He's a
Luda, Monk
slut.
Way
Yeah. That's what Ludacris would say, I
Yeah.
think, to be honest with you.
Meow. Okay.
Yeah, I can feel it. Yeah.
God, that's so fascinating about that. How progressive of them. It's a very modern family-esque is
Very
what I'm
modern
saying.
family.
Yeah.
I hadn't even thought about that. Yeah, no. But they were super accepting and cool people. And I feel bad that I don't remember all their names because I didn't really talk to them.
Sure.
We spent time together and it was fun. But it's like, since they didn't speak English, it's hard to remember the names of people.
Right.
And they're also not named like Jerry or Robert. They're all like
Right.
Thai names.
Of
you
course.
Know? So,
Yeah.
Which makes me feel bad. I do think I should get more in touch with my Thai side more. But we
Let
went,
this
my
be
dad
a
and I
reminder.
went fishing on a boat with them one time.
Yeah.
And we were told, like, oh, it's just fishing with the boys. And it was like a bunch of the extended family. And my mom had told me, she was like, if you're there, talk to like your one cousin. He can speak English. So if you have any questions, talk to him.
Okay.
And we were out on the boat and we had been out there for like an hour. I went up to him and I was like, hey, do you know how much longer we're going to be out here for? And he was like, okay. And I was like, all right, I guess he doesn't know anything. And we ended up being out there for like a day and a half on
Sure.
this boat. And we had no idea. My dad and I didn't speak a word of Thai, so we had no idea when we were coming back from this fishing trip. And we just kept going further out into the ocean. And then eventually, like, we just knew we were coming back when we saw the shore again.
A day and a half.
God.
Yeah, it was like
You
forever.
slept on the boat?
I think I slept twice on the boat.
Wow.
I
Holy
remember.
shit.
Yeah, there was like an entire day that came and went.
Did you catch any fish though?
I caught a squid.
Beautiful.
I
Even
remember
better.
it was huge. I caught the squid, and then the captain, who was like, did not look like he should be a captain. He was
Right.
like just this shirtless maniac, just like.
That's what
walking
captains
around.
look like.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
so. And then he took my squid, and then it was like wiggling in his hand, and then he like chucked it at the ground to kill it. Took it in the back, came back out, and it was chopped up, and he had dip ready for it. And
That's how it goes.
and my dad, just being the survivalist he is, and also not wanting to like cause problems, he was like, "Well, John, we'll just have a good time." And it was like there was no, you're just out on the deck. It's just the sun beating down on you.
Yeah.
And I could tell my dad really wanted to go, but he like accepted he couldn't do anything about it. So he was like, well, whatever. We're just bonding.
Just bonding.
Yeah.
I love it. Did you think of a mom of the week?
Yes. I don't know if she's been chosen already, but my mom of the week is Toni Collette's character in Hereditary.
Oh.
Have you seen it?
Yep.
I don't think
Hereditary.
I don't think I've
It's
have
the
I
scary
seen it?
one where there's
love
the
Toni
girl
Collette.
who gets her head chopped off. That's a very crucial
So
point.
many movies.
There's
Yeah.
a little girl whose head gets chopped off when she sticks it out of a car while it's moving.
It's like a really fucked up movie.
Yeah.
Wait, does she hold the kid after the accident or something?
No.
Am I thinking of a brand new song? Fuck. I love Toni Collette though. She's
If you love her,
amazing.
what do you love her in?
Fucking
United
Tara.
States of Tara,
United
yeah.
States of Tara.
Oh, okay.
Mostly. And then
Little Miss Sunshine. You seen
Little
that
Miss
one?
Sunshine,
Yeah.
of course. My brain is
She's
I
like
don't
an
remember
indie
anything.
darling. Yeah.
She's an indie darling and she's just an amazing actress.
She's in a cool
Yeah.
movie where her and I forget who, but they are like women pretending to be men who are drag queens. That movie is really good.
okay.
Was
Don't know
it
that one. Love
Tu
it.
Wong Fu?
No, it
I
wasn't
was
Tu
gonna
Wong
say
Fu. It was like I
the
want to say
opposite
it
of
was
Tu
like
Wong Fu.
Trini and Carmen or something like that.
Okay.
I'll figure it out. But anyway,
There was a whole genre of movie that was like, the whole concept was men dressing as women. Like
Yeah.
that was like the whole. There was like for like 20 years.
Yeah.
You could make a comedy where the entire thing was just the men are dressed as a women.
Yeah,
and it would be a
this
hit.
was women dressing as men dressing as women.
Oh,
Right.
oh,
Yeah.
That's why I said
huge.
opposite
Yeah.
of Tu Wong
Wait,
Fu.
that's actually no.
yeah,
that's
it was
a
really
twist.
good. But Hereditary.
Hereditary, yeah. I actually forget the character's name. I just call her Toni Collette. But,
Yeah, that's what her name is.
Perfect.
Yeah, Toni Collette. She very hardworking mother. She does crawl on the ceiling at the end and try to
Yes.
murder her son.
Yes.
What? Is she possessed?
Yeah, she gets possessed. That's the whole thing.
Oh, okay. Okay. I
Yeah,
missed that
there's
part.
a lot goes on in the movie. There's a great part where she near the end has this like wire. You remember this? And she has like around her neck and she's going like this.
Yeah.
Trying to cut her own head off.
Yeah.
And there's a joke every time there's a video of Trump dancing. People say the mom in Hereditary because he dances like this. So it's
We all
pretty good.
wish
You
that
got
was
to
the
watch
case,
Hereditary
but
now.
Yeah,
I do need to
She has
watch
a
it.
Great, the famous monologue where she's like yelling at her son and she's like, "I am your mother," and
Fitting.
people on TikTok do that speech because it's like weirdly. There's like a small part of it that kind of makes you feel something. I don't like. There's something about it where you're just like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't realize Toni Collette was hot.
Yeah.
As
And
she's-
there's those mommy issues we've been
There we
looking
go.
for.
We found it.
Amazing. She is fucking hot though. Great
She is
tits.
kind of hot. She's like sneaky hot.
She's
I
sneaky
think.
hot.
Yeah,
Sometimes that's the best hot.
I think so. It's the one I think about the most.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think about how Margot Robbie's hot a lot because that's just like a fact, right?
Right.
But like, I will think about Toni Collette a lot and be like, I think she's hot.
I adore when a person is a little ugly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
medium
just
ugly people.
Medium ugly people are
And they
like
also put it down the best.
very true.
Because they got something to prove.
We have a point to
Yeah.
Hot
prove.
people fuck terribly.
Yeah.
Yes, I could not
You
agree
ever
with
fucked
you
a
more.
hot person?
Yeah.
And
They're
was it the
just-
worst
they're
sex
just like-
ever?
'cause
Yeah.
from their perspective, they're like, it's enough that I'm here. You know?
Exactly. And
Right.
like, no, it's
I
not.
have to put in
You're
the work.
welcome.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Nobody does better than like a 7 out of 10.
Or
Legit.
somebody who doesn't have a job.
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Well, they've been spending time on this.
Yes.
But, yeah.
A place to live.
They have the energy. They weren't working all day.
If you want to come, fuck the homeless. That's all I gotta
Yeah.
say.
I know a few folks at the local liquor store. If you get them a wine tip black and mild,
Yeah.
That's right.
a Fago Cola, and some Parmesan, you're in for a treat.
You're in for
I
a
wouldn't
wild
know.
ride.
Who's somebody else that you guys think would be like a little ugly, like tastefully ugly?
Oh, you know who I think is
God.
hot? Jason Segel.
Jason Segel?
Jason Segel, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
How
hot.
I Met Your Mother.
Yeah,
Fitting.
yeah. God, I have to ponder on this, but there's so many people, I
Yeah.
think. Yeah. I mean, Sarah Jessica Parker's probably one of those people.
Yeah.
Because, like, you know, she has a massive nose and is
Yeah.
a very pointy face, but there's something very sexy about her.
Yeah.
Shit, even fucking like Matthew Perry.
Yeah.
Zach
You know?
Galifianakis.
Zach
That's my
Galifianakis.
one. That's my one.
Yeah.
He can
yeah.
get it.
He could get it.
I would hang on to that beard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something about him.
I do think sometimes it's like you know, guys work so hard on like getting jacked and stuff, and then you'll ask like a really hot girl who are celebrity crushes, and she's like Jack Black.
Literally.
Yeah.
And you're like,
Literally.
what am I doing?
We love the dad bod, dude. We
Yeah.
love the silly
Or
guy.
just like a goofy guy.
Goofy, gooey guy,
Yeah.
man.
I think this. I don't know how popular this is. I think Jordan Jensen's kind of hot.
Jordan
right?
Jensen is so fucking beautiful. I
Yeah.
am one of the women in the world who is bummed out that she's not a lesbian.
Yeah.
I don't know
sure.
who this is.
She's a stand-up
She's a
comedian, blowing up right now in our world. You know, the
Well,
average
you're hot,
person would
Jordan.
not know who
I'm
she
gonna look her
is,
up.
but
Oh yeah,
she's
sorry. Comedy audiences might know. She's
Ev-
like the
yeah.
one female comic that guys like nowadays. I
it's
think.
insane.
She's like the one.
Yeah, like when I did Sam's show, because
Yeah,
his
he
audience
joked about
is
that.
Jordan's audience.
Oh,
you know what I
really?
mean? Like, yeah,
Yeah.
I think so, right?
guess so,
If you
yeah.
like Sam, you like Jordan, I think.
Yeah.
And
probably.
yeah, she's the only woman I think outside of maybe like Karen Feehan.
yeah. Well, Karen's got her own reasons.
Karen's got her own reasons
She's got
for
her own-
sure.
She's got her own draw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She has a very famous OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Yeah. She made like $1 million.
Oh, I know who that is.
Oh, well, see?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have OnlyFans, dog.
That's right.
I'm not on OnlyFans, but I'm on it, but I'm not on it.
You're a subscriber.
Yeah, I'm a
Subscriber.
I'm-
Yeah,
I'm
you're a
subscriber.
user.
Yeah.
How much money do you think you spend on there?
Oh, okay. I'm
Or you just
I'm about to out myself.
Do you just occasionally get a
there's
PPV
there's
every now
been
and then?
people that I know
Yeah.
that have an OnlyFans, and I'll subscribe to support the homies.
Really?
You gotta.
Yeah.
Oh, I won't do that.
I'll do it to support the homies.
Oh wow.
To support the homies.
I've seen
but
won't
here's
do
the
it?
thing:
I've
it's
had-
it's only gay men.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that's different.
So how much money have I spent on OnlyFans ever? Maybe like $40 total.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'm not like
Yeah.
on there.
It's
It's
no
like,
different
oh,
than-
you have like a deal going on, and I'm curious to see how you fuck, bro.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, it's like you said, if you started a Patreon for this podcast, there are like 5 or 6 people that would definitely do it.
I think
be the
so.
same
3 to
thing.
5.
Probably the same group for OnlyFans.
3 to 5.
Yeah.
I bet Ian and Snowbird
Your mom.
would sign up for our OnlyFans if we had them.
I hope so. It's been on the list of things to do, as well as like putting up the art and like getting rid of all these piles over there. But this rearranging
camera.
the studio was a big move. So
This is a really nice studio.
thank you so
I
much.
like this a lot. It's very the way that I'm on the couch. It's very Howard Stern. I think.
Yeah.
A little
We
bit.
should have brought you a wig.
We should have brought you a
Yeah, we
fucking
need
wig.
wigs
We
next
do need
time.
wigs.
Yeehaw.
Wigs and sunglasses. Yeehaw. Okay. I think we'll leave it there. You got any questions for us? Any other questions?
Oh, I guess I am just curious because you say you both have mommy issues.
Yeah.
Yeah, so many.
Is that the inspiration for starting a mom-related podcast, or?
So it actually, Each Other's Mothers goes back to how my friendships were formed. Because
Okay.
Connor, Mead, and I started this podcast
Yeah.
years ago. And Carolyn Paul was our co-host. And we were talking about a conversation about how I was like mothering one of our friends or something, and she was hammered in the car. And then I was like, maybe we should like start talking to people about their relationships with their friendships and how their mommy issues kind of incorporate and blah, 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 blah. And she was like, yeah. And she's like hammered in the car. We were parking at Ghostlight, and she's like, we'll call it Each Other's Mothers. And then from that, it kind of blossomed. But yeah, it started off as being more about how your chosen family
Yeah.
and how you mother each other and like all that stuff. And then it kind of like started more of like mommy issues interviews, wanting to learn about
I
like,
see.
because it's like very much like Honeydew, very much like I wanted to sit and like learn,
Yeah.
but also be silly and like make side comments and like all the things.
Right.
And like not to be super cheesy, but at the end of the day, we all have certain things in common, and I
Right.
want to like hyper focus on that. And comics are funny in general, so it's like, you know, let's learn another side of you. You
Yeah.
know? Not just your fucking stand up and your little jokey jokes. Like, let's
Right.
learn about what fucked
Yeah,
you
I want
up.
to see you cry.
Yeah, and come at the same time.
Yeah.
Well, and you came. You said your mom's passed on at this point, right? And how long has she been gone for? Can I ask?
It'll be 9 years, June 6th.
Man,
Okay.
time flies when you're
I
dead.
know.
So you had a dead mom when you started as a co-host.
I had a dead mom when I
Gotcha.
started as a co-host.
Yeah.
My mom died shortly after, like, Joe and I became, like, we've known each other for a long time, but
Yeah.
like shortly after we became, like, tight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that brings a new perspective, I'm sure, to the mommy issues with living mom, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
And then possibly unresolved ones because she's.
Oh, for sure.
Absolutely.
We had my dad on, though.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had my
That's
mom
great.
on. We've had her dad on.
We're going to have my partner's mom on in a
Yep.
couple weeks.
Yeah.
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 That's cool.
Just trying to make.
I call my mom on Chinese Rocket Force sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
To get her to. Sometimes we just run out of things to say. We're like, hey, let's call Sopa.
Is that her name?
Yeah, Sopa. Yeah, sorry, mom. Sorry for ousting you. Yeah, her name's Sopa. I didn't really get into this, but it did just occur to me. I was like, I think the most I've ever been frustrated with my mother is when it comes to dating, because my mom is so. I really want to avoid like a Norman Bates relationship with my mom, because I think
Sure.
every now and then it gets to like it flirts with that where like. The way that she's protective does make her kind of judgmental of anybody that dates her son.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I think she's gotten better at that over time.
You're her
each
baby
girlfriend, she's been
boy.
a little better.
Yeah.
So maybe by the time I'm getting married, she'll be like totally chill with it. But,
Yeah, in the next 6 months.
yeah. Yeah.
It's the same over here, man. I got a Latino for a mother.
Oh, sure.
She's never impressed with, you know what I mean?
Well,
She
Ross
loves them.
is working his ass off upstairs
Oh,
just
he
to.
works his ass off every day to get her approval.
Yeah.
She's very kind.
Will he get it one day?
Yeah, she does love him.
Good.
Yeah, she does love him, but it's no, I don't think anyone will ever be good enough for me.
Yeah, she
So it's the
doesn't want him
same,
to
you
know
know?
Sure.
that she loves him.
Yeah.
Or else he'll
Yeah.
stop
Well,
cooking.
Moms are inherently very critical of people they love, whether it's their own kid or the people who associate with their kids. So, like, with my ex, my mom would tell me, like, oh, I love her. I think she's a blessing. She would say these very sweet things.
Sure.
And then my ex would be like, I don't think your mom likes me at all.
Yeah.
Like, she would be like, am I ever going to be good enough for your mom? And I was like, there's clearly a dissonance, or it's like my mom, because she, like, loves her through proxy, is like, I need to, like, make sure everything's perfect.
Yeah.
And then sometimes she'd be like, oh, do you feel good about this? And I'd be like, no, but it's okay. I'd be like, that's a small thing.
It's a very
You know?
small thing. Absolutely.
But we broke up, so maybe she was right. Sorry, Mom.
Yeah, I just never, I don't know. I can't picture my mom personally or like any mother similar to mine one day being like, oh, that person's the one. Like,
Sure.
I just don't see it ever
No.
happening.
My mom would think that's gay.
Yeah. There's like always going to be something wrong.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, we could just hyper focus on the fact that I'm happy
Right.
and taken care of.
Never.
I picture if I told my mom I'm going to propose to a woman,
Yeah.
my mom could know her for however long. I think my mom would be like, all right,
Yeah.
if that's what you want to do.
Yep. Master manipulators. They're very smart. Our mothers, it sounds like. Very similar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sopa will have to come to the next family dinner for sure. That would be very fun.
Yeah, come on, Mom.
Get two of them together.
You guys
We
have a
can't
great
fuck
time.
with those forces.
No.
We can't put a Latina in a tie.
I'll
No,
bring my
too
mom's
strong.
Too
ashes.
strong. Too many spices.
That's like in
the ashes will be
Ghostbusters when
here.
they cross the streams. You can't do
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Cannot do that. Oh my God. Okay, Johnny, where can we find you on the internet? Plug your podcast.
I'm on Instagram and TikTok at Johnny Mocny Comedy. I have 2 podcasts. I have Chinese Rocket Force with Louis Michael, and I have a movie podcast called We Are Movies. And that's it. I had a great time.
Hell yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
being here. Where can we find you, Brie?
Itchy snitchy. I don't do much. Painting a house.
Your stories be popping off,
Ripped
girl.
my stories of me ripping bushes out, aka Alicia ripping bushes out.
Yes. Very real.
Yeah.
I am at Johanna.Madronda. Johnny's throwing shit. We gotta go. What an aggressive man.
I was looking up Itchy Snitchy on Instagram. I was going to
That's me.
follow on the spot.
And then got
my
nervous.
stories are hype.
Okay.
The stories are hype, truly.
Yeah.
So
I'm
look
being
her up.
modest. I do a lot, actually.
You do, look at your socks. Of course you do a lot.
They say
Okay.
stop talking. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Love you. Bye.